You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Charlamagne, we live?
We live now, baby. We live now, baby.
Man, did you finally see the Usher Tiny Desk?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Got a chance to view it.
What do you think now?
So, I always knew Usher could sing, but for him to age as gracefully as he has, I think it's a beautiful thing. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. And for him to have Eric Bellinger, who's the other cat?
And Vito.
Yeah, like to have them as his backup singers for this particular production.
Respectable
was like,
artists and songwriters in their own right.
Yeah, they was going crazy too. So
Yeah.
overall, it was an amazing production.
It was phenomenal. Yeah. Like, that's why I wanted you to watch it, because I was just like, hey, yo, and we keep talking about this Chris Brown Usher versus. I was like, hey, yo, like, I don't know.
And this was a tiny disc, so this was a small scale performance, right?
Yeah, like
so just
that's what I'm saying. Like, Usher has aged a lot gracefully in front of our eyes. Definitely, you talk about Usher's been famous since he was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been a signed recording artist since he was 13 years old. And and respect to everybody, right? But nobody has aged better than him.
Yeah.
If you're talking about 13 to, what is he, 43, 42?
Damn, 30 of them things?
Nobody. No, name them. Maybe Stevie, maybe. But if you're talking about voice, nah.
Vocally, yeah.
No.
Hey, to be honest, I don't even think Whitney Houston aged
No,
like that.
no. Name them.
Just
Nobody. That's the point. And it's just like, this nigga sang Superstar, which is a B-side on Confessions. When did Superstar come out? 18 years ago?
Oh, I think so.
Arguably better than when he recorded it. That version is arguably better than. You're not supposed to kill your own song 18 years later. In theory. In theory. I'm just making sense, but I enjoyed the Tiny Desk. It definitely flexed Usher's vocal arrangements and abilities, like just the vocal, like the prowess was crazy. Like
the prowess. Look at the word. Look at the verbiage. I love it.
The way that he let Eric Bellinger and Vito kind of like lead on certain situations, and he took a seat back to let them get their bars off.
Yes, and that is like I appreciate that when it comes to like live R&B performances. Like, of course, you know you're gonna get your hits. You're singing from the featured act, but they always let the backup singers get they shine. Like sometimes they be sounding better. Not in this case, but not in this case, but sometimes they be sounding better than the featured artist. But you know, and it's the Tiny Desk itself has even sparked the Usher challenge. You been seeing this shit?
Yeah, man. They worn it out. Like the only.
You wanna do it?
Watch this. I thought you were talking about watch this. Absolutely not. I can't play. You gotta sing like Usher. Nah, you got it, bro.
No, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna do it. I can't. Yeah, I can't sing.
We'll be out here be looking like Ray J.
Watch At least I won't be marching.
But just getting back to this Tiny Desk, man, I just want to make sure that we gave this man his flowers, man, because he is a living legend, an icon, somebody. It's like this is somebody that we should celebrate because we grew up with him or grew up looking at him just as much as we looked at any other living legend or icon. Word. So it's not the same, you know what I'm saying? Like we weren't around, like we was young when Mike was out, you know what I'm saying? We was virtually young when Whitney were out. We weren't even born when Stevie was doing this thing. So like when those people are mentioned, we have a love for them because our parents put them on. But this was somebody that was right there in front of our face, and we grew up with them.
Yes.
So it's just we have to understand that he is who he is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and this is, we always try to give artists their flowers while they're still here. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we even got this type of performance from Usher that we didn't have to pay for, like, it's amazing, man.
Listen, man. I mean, and look, everybody got their one album, right? Mm-hmm. He got Confessions, arguably the greatest R&B album ever made. Mm-hmm. Definitely in the past 20 years, but definitely ever made. Like, he's in that conversation.
Yeah, man. Still being able to perform those songs as well as some of his older music. Good, if the same, if not better than previously recorded at his age. Nah. This is amazing.
And it kind of makes me want for more Usher music. Because, like, you got to think, he didn't go past Confessions on any of his hits, did he? On that Tiny
I
Desk?
do not think so.
He done gave us some hits post then, but we just, I think, and I've been in this bag too. Like, what does the album sound like compared? Because we've always compared everything he's done post Confessions to Confessions, obviously, right? Some of those albums have been solid. They're just not Confessions. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like where we've been, like, well, I've been hanging
the benchmark.
I've been hanging my hat on when it comes to like arguments on albums and things like that. But he's never had a shortage of hits since.
It's facts. It's facts.
That's why I was like, hey, yo, we can get dark. I'm breezy.
Would you really want a new Usher album in 2022?
Yeah.
You don't think? Well, we don't know what new Usher music would sound like today. Mm-hmm. So I guess anticipation would be built, especially like with the Tiny Desk and all that kind of stuff, and the verses talk and
the verses talk,
the residency.
That's what I was gonna say. The residency,
the skating, all that,
everything, all that contributes to me wanting to listen to new Usher music.
Yeah. Shit, maybe he'll drop some next year. I don't know.
We'll see.
It's
supposed to be Confessions Part 2. I think that's the
rumor.
I
said that?
I think that's been the rumor.
I think it's just a rumor because he's been so in the music media as of late.
Yeah.
If he don't say it, I ain't buying that shit. I'm sick of announcements, man. I'm sick of all that. Like, just hit me with a date. Beyonce coming. Just hit me with a date.
This is coming from the MCU guys, but okay. Hey, we want to know all the details before the movie come out. No. This is me too. Like, I'm putting myself in there with you, but I just want to poke a hole in there. Hear the air deflating out their balloons.
I want to say it's different with music, but it ain't.
It's not. It ain't. It's not.
All right. We gonna get to it.
Let's get it started.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 152.
152. I'm riding the rock Ralph this week.
Oh, okay. I love it. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat, the podcast. And our email it's oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm the Minder Ralph on Instagram and Twitter. On
Twitter, I'm JON2_, On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Ralph. Before we get anywhere and do anything else, I want to shout out all of our new subscribers on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Shout out to all y'all because we got an influx of subscribers the past couple weeks. I think based off of our versus talk, which is dope. So we appreciate y'all subscribing. We hope y'all enjoy the content. Go check out some of the old episodes, and we got new episodes for y'all every week. So shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, and I want to give somebody their flowers too. Shout out to the homie RBK Snow, man. He been showing crazy love like that,
man love,
bro.
We see you. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, Capo in the OS gang. What up?
Yeah, I love it, man. Ralph, my guy, my pal. What's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling great. Just another week down, man. Just happy to be here, man. For real. Like, celebration of life. You know, this is my birthday month, so maybe, I'm riding that high. Maybe that's what, I was so giddy last week, and now this week I'm just like, I'm off the wall, man. It's just me, man.
I love it.
How about you, bro?
I love to see it. I mentally mentally, I'm great. Like I'm cool. Like I feel like I can jump over a building.
I feel like a butt is coming.
Physically, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm tired.
Like...
Physically, I'm tired. my body. Do you think it's more taxing to be mentally or physically tired?
Mentally.
I think
because I think free your mind and your ass will follow. The mind controls everything.
Yeah. No, that's true. This is true. No, this is facts. So yeah, mentally I'm great. Just got back from vacation today. If y'all knew the shit I went through today to like get this episode recorded, like it's insane. But
hey man, dedication, hard work plus patience. We here, baby.
Word. But no, I'm here, man. Just got back from vacation, feeling good. Got a chance to rejuvenate on the beach.
Good shit.
Amazing. I don't know about y'all, but for me, just being able to sit on the beach, listen to the waves, actually be in the water, it does something to me. Like shit, I almost want to say spiritually. Like it just does something great for me. So the fact that I was able to do that it's been great.
I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment because I'm gonna disagree with you for the rest of the episode, but I agree with that.
That's what's up.
But at least you know what's coming.
Facts.
But no, seriously, like just being on the beach, and I know last year when I went to South Carolina, I think maybe I mentioned it here, or maybe me and you talked about it, but just being on the beach, and then it's kind of like that was slave where they brought the slaves, so I felt like a little spiritual connection to that. I was just like, hey, yo, my ancestors were here, 200 some odd years ago, so it felt good just letting the waves splash against you. So I feel you, and I can't wait to get back to somebody's beach.
Word, shit, me either. It's always bittersweet coming back from vacation because it's like you never want to leave because you've been kicking it, you feel great, but you get back home, you getting your own shower, your own bed. Like it's nothing like sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know what's worse, the last day of vacation or when you come back from vacation.
Me, I think it's when you come back.
Okay.
Because I mean, while I'm still there on the last day, I'm still doing vacation.
Well,
shit.
I guess it depends on your flight. Like you know what I'm saying. Like, say if you got a flight mid-morning, afternoon, like that kind of kills what the last day could be.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't be doing nothing.
If
doing nothing.
just getting ready to go,
getting ready to go.
making sure you got all your shit packed, triple checking the room.
Man, I leave a charge, I'll be mad.
Right? No. Man, it's facts. Though. It's facts. I think it's more easier to leave things behind when you leave early in the morning. Yeah. At least if you leave midday, you can recheck type shit. So,
facts.
Yeah, man. But no, I'm happy to be back. New episode this week was good, man. We here.
Oh yeah, man. What we doing? Off the dome?
Off the dome.
I got one for you, bro.
Let's do it.
I think you'll like this. Ghostwriting has become so commonplace when it comes to our rappers, right? Rap icons, rap legends, whatever you want to say. You wouldn't be surprised if somebody wrote something for them. But who would you not be shocked at if they came out and said, hey, such and such has a ghostwriter?
Who would I not be shocked? Ooh, okay. Good question. Give me your
I'll
answer.
give you my answer.
Okay.
My answer is actually my man's. It pains me to say. And it's not saying I'm not saying that it's true. But Rick Ross. It would not surprise me if Ricky Rose had a ghostwriter. Because, like, I'm not saying he has, like, an influx of bars, but he keep a hit tucked all the time.
It's true.
And he can stay, relevant for other reasons other than rap. Like, he's a business mogul. He does all these things. And I'll be wondering if, the music, what I'm saying? Like, he just has people writing stuff for him. He go in there and rap it.
Right. Nah, okay. I'm not mad at that. The first person that came to mind. Now, this artist, well, it's a lady. I don't think it has come out that she has ghostwriters, and it wouldn't surprise me if she did. I'm going Cardi B.
I thought Cardi always said like she got somebody writing.
No.
Well, I'm not saying that it to be true, but I thought it was like kind of understood that she had ghostwriters.
Oh no, I didn't.
Because the brand is so big. Like, Cardi ain't got to rap.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Cardi ain't got to rap.
And that's what I mean. Like, even with her first album, like I really enjoyed her first album, but I wouldn't be surprised if she ain't write all that.
She got a lot of machine behind her. A lot. And we not gonna let Cardi is almost like the version of Doja Cat that I respect.
Damn.
Because Doja do the pop rap joint, but Cardi is just more palatable to me.
Palatable, I like that. But yeah, No,
Well, I can't say that to be true, but I thought it was always understood through industry circles that Cardi had writers.
I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware.
I could be wrong. But I feel like that.
But
was understood.
if they came out tomorrow and said I wrote this, and this for Cardi B, then I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
All right,
makes sense.
Yeah, it would pain me a little bit that we're all sad writers, but I can see it.
I mean, well, yeah, and that thought didn't even cross my mind about Rick Ross until you mentioned it, but. Yeah, like especially in his later in his career, because
yeah.
you know
he's such a personality now. Because you know, me and you, we reviewed Richer Than I Ever Been, and then we thought it was cool. And then you know, cooler heads prevailed, and we was like, it really wasn't all that, or maybe it was me, but I was just like, it really wasn't all that.
Yeah, it was you.
Okay.
It was you. But also with that, what I do remember about that album is that he had more than like three flows on that album, and that would make sense that he had ghostwriters because all the other albums I listened to from Rick Ross, he rapped the same on all the songs. So that would make sense to me. Not saying it's true, but it would make sense. So yeah, that's what's up. Go Off the Dome. All right, so from Off the Dome, I'm going straight to it, and I want you to think back as far as you can.
Okay.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Chili from TLC. Chili, easily.
Okay.
She was fine. Like it was something about that chocolate. I seen her doing the dance in the pajamas, and I think that was it.
I think I'm gonna go back a little further, just a tad bit further
Man,
than that.
What we doing? What we doing? Tina Marie? What we talking about? What we talking?
Not Tina Marie. Hey,
You said back further than 92, so I'm like,
but it's not okay.
Well, no, I'm thinking about Chili and what is it? Creep? That's 96. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going back just a few more years.
Okay.
I'm going Trini from Power Rangers. The Yellow Ranger.
Hey yo, what?
Yes, sir. That's the first person I felt like I remember crushing on, like watching Power Rangers. Like I was. Let's do the math.
Right. No, I'm thinking like it's weird because like I feel like you just want to be in the opposition. I thought everybody liked Kimberly. No.
I hear what you're saying, and I think the masses did like Kimberly,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like Kim. Fine for back then. Fine for back then, but for me,
wasn't my cup of tea.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You feel me? But no. Trini was it, bro. Trini was it.
I got you.
I fuck with the Yellow Ranger.
Hey yo, all right. That was Off the Dome, man. Who would you not be surprised had a ghostwriter in the rap game?
And let us know who was your first celebrity crush.
Yes, sir. Johnny.
Yes.
OS game. What's happening?
We here.
We got a few topics. We got to start here. Get the serious stuff out the way.
Yeah.
Another fallen R&B star. We have to lead with that. Trey Songz. We're coming with updates. What's going on with his case? There was actually a $20 million lawsuit that was dropped from one of the accusers. Johnny, what do you think about this story?
Reading through this article and just thinking about like the cases against Trey Songz, I think we talked about this. Had to be like late last year or something like that. It's been real quiet for Trey Songz, and what I mean by that is I haven't heard any media outlets at all, like no media outlets discuss anything that's been happening with Trey Songz at all, even though there have been like minor rumblings, across the Twitterverse and social media and all that, right? So the fact that, all of this litigation has been going on, quote unquote, behind the scenes, and again, with multiple women. It's not just one woman that's been, that has accused Trey Songz of such allegations, right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that one of the lawsuits for $20 million, it's a lot of money, right? Yeah. Has been thrown out.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure which way to lean here. Does that mean she lied, or does this mean maybe she's just so distraught and she doesn't want to continue going through the litigation because mentally it's draining? That she just said, you know what, the money don't even matter. Let me just drop this.
Yeah, this is not necessarily Like, you know, not saying he's guilty or anything of that nature either. But two people with enough fame and clout have come out and said things. That were Keke Palmer and former basketball star Dylan Gonzalez.
Yes.
That's the one that kind of like really got this ball rolling, was the Dylan Gonzalez tweet. So it's like it's real tough to be in these situations because you never want to get into the business of mudslinging and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
I don't know who's who, what's what, but it's looking real bad for Trey. That's what I'm saying.
Word.
And, you know, just this lawsuit being thrown out is cool for right now. His legal team and him or his representatives, they have not said anything as of yet. Honestly, I probably wouldn't say anything because there are still other accusers and other lawsuits and other legal actions being taken. So that's all I got. Like that's really what I got. I still say this: Trey is looking bad for you, man. Like, for real.
And another interesting tidbit in this same article, it says back in April, I guess April of this year, he was cleared of sexual assault allegations stemming from something else that happened in Vegas last year in November. So that's the second one, right? So
I think that's the Dylan Gonzalez stuff too. I believe
you
so.
think that's the same one? Okay. So, but that's still two, right? So that's the Dylan joint, and then the $20 million one that got thrown out.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean for Trey Songz going forward? Honestly, I have no idea.
Well, hey, man.
I imagine he's still canceled, but hey.
Yeah, Trey cold right now too. Like, respectfully.
Like, oh yeah, freezing
cold.
Frost.
So I'm not really sure what, you know, like I don't know if he's canceled because I haven't heard. Well, I haven't been in the Twitter sphere like that in a minute, so I'm not sure what the streets are saying about Trey. But I'm pretty sure the radio still want to play his songs. They do.
What? And I guess at this point, what's
canceled? Like, what does canceled mean? Because R. Kelly still gets played, and we talked about R. Kelly last week.
Yeah, that's true.
I think R. Kelly song may be getting played on the urban adult contemporary stations. Maybe not the young.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe not the hip hop stations, not the young joints, but if you go over whatever the old heads listen to, I'm pretty sure there's an R. Kelly track sprinkled in there.
Yeah, if your mom or grandparents are still listening to the radio in the house, they got the station on where they playing R. Kelly.
For sure.
So yeah,
most definitely.
No, I feel that. That's crazy. I don't really got nothing else for Trey Songz, man. It's interesting that for so long he, like, the lawsuits and the allegations, none of that had been talked about at all, period. And now that some of these have been thrown out, it's been.
Well, hey, when Trey had the world in his palm in his hand, he may have been out here being Mr. Nasty. I'm not sure. I don't know. But now things have cooled off. These allegations, they don't fall on deaf ears so much anymore. People are listening, and people are taking notice.
Yep.
And Trey has been noted on certain instances of being a creep.
Yep.
So we're not here to really. I don't really know what the line is of creepdom. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a fine line. I don't know if he went across it. I don't know if he was right there. I don't know.
I got nothing.
It's really one of those situations. Like, we still are awaiting more details, but it's just something that, you know, we kind of want to pay attention to because honestly, I've been a Trey Songz fan, so I'm invested in the story in a way. I bought his albums, so I'm invested in a way.
Yep. And that's just where we at today, man.
Heck.
That's just where we at.
Man, nobody's safe, but if you out here being a creep, hey, sorry for you.
Right, for real though. I got nothing else for you.
Right, but let's talk about another music story that kind of has leaves a sour taste in people's mouths. Gospel superstar Tye Tribbett has come out on a recent interview with Kev on Stage saying that he was only paid $2,000 for his work on Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River by Timbaland. Johnny, what do you think about this story?
It's a very, very interesting story, right? And I feel like this is something we've been talking about a lot, at least this year.
Yeah.
When it comes to bad business and bad contracts in music.
Get your money, man.
And Cry Me a River was what, 2001? Ooh, 2001. So
2002, one of them.
So this is back when
it's 02 because I was a freshman in high school.
02?
I bought the album.
Gotcha.
I was ashamed.
Ashamed about it? Oh, yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about that all the time.
Yeah. But no, this is back when contract talks were still, not as mainstream, and bad contracts were still being done and signed and things like that. And even, I guess, to Tye Tribbett's point back then, maybe he thought it was better just to take the money up front. Now, if that's the case, you took the $2K up front and, didn't sign anything to say, hey, I'll get 0.5% royalties going forward, no shit like that. Sorry, but you signed it.
This is the other thing, too. Tye Tribbett's first album came out in 2000. Mm-hmm. He really didn't rise into prominence probably until 2005. Mm-hmm. So he's virtually still unknown. And his choir, Greater Anointing, GA, who sang the vocals, with Marsha Ambrosius, like you got all that in the background. Nobody's known. Like nobody knows them. So it's kind of like, all right, well, you guys are the background vocals and, you play the chords and all that and you take this lump sum. Maybe that's just part of the business. And it's quite unfortunate. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but we've heard stories about things that we deem to be classic, and I'll tie in maybe just another argument like Faison Love came out and said he was only paid a couple, like maybe $5,000 for Friday. Yep. But then again, what was the budget? Then again, you got to think about Faison Love at that time.
Mm-hmm. And he only, from Ice Cube's response to that, he only worked 2 days, maybe like 4 hours tops or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. So the work you provided was the money you received.
Exactly. And then maybe this is coming out because Justin Timberlake just sold his catalog too.
And that would make sense.
And then he was just saying like Timberland, but I think it was just part of the business. I'm not saying that Tye Tribbett deserved $2,000. He obviously deserved more, considering that he had his choir sing on this track and he played chords where you thought that it may have been Timberland or Scott Storch or whoever was pulling the strings for that, that beat. Mm-hmm. So,
do you think so Tye Tribbett is a gospel artist? Mm-hmm. Do you think for him at that time maybe he didn't really want people to know that he was like helping out on secular music? You think that could be a thing?
Absolutely not, because he's in the credits.
Oh, he did. Okay, no, you're right. He said
Absolutely.
he said that in the clip. That's right. I was trying to think of it from a different angle, but
I think that because he was virtually still unknown. Like his first project came out in 2000, but the one that really got him popping in the gospel streets, 2005. Mm-hmm. That's 5 years.
Yeah.
So
just bad timing.
Bad timing. You got to pay your dues. Unfortunately, how many times have we heard of somebody being somebody's background singer or somebody writing on somebody's album, and they blow up and become a legend or a longevity type of artist in their own right, which Tye Tribbett is. Mm-hmm. Like if you pay attention to the gospel streets, he got them popping.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like I'm not saying that it's right he got paid $2,000, but I'm just like.
At some point, do you think it was Justin Timberlake's or Timbaland's call to like pay him back or like give, because that was a huge single. Well, the album was huge, but that was a huge single for Justin.
That's arguably Justin's biggest song.
Like that's like,
and this only adds to the other controversy of the song, right? Because I think it was like a big thing about Britney Spears' image being used in the video. And then, you got that. Timbaland not, stealing beats like that's been, talked about throughout those circles back then too. So now you got somebody that played chords on the background saying they only got paid $2,000 when you know that this was a huge hit.
Yeah, what? Crazy. Still a karaoke joint today.
Hey, look, man, and it just shows how many black people be making Justin look great out here, man. Sheesh. Woo!
It's funny because it's true.
Black people be making Justin look great. It's funny because
it's true. Damn. Black Magic.
We ain't got it.
Black Magic, man.
We ain't got to stay with that one too much longer, man. But that's just hilarious, man. But let's talk about this, man. It's getting real in these political streets again, man. Like, we got to bring you something lighthearted. All for jokes, right? Rhode Island Senator with the name Tierra Mack. Not Tierra Whack.
Tierra Mack.
I had to double check. I was like, hey, Tierra Whack's a rapper.
Facts.
But no, her name is Tierra Mack, and she took to social media to twerk for votes as a campaign strategy. Johnny, what do you think about a Rhode Island senator twerking for votes?
You want the truth, my guy?
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Oh, yeah, I always want it.
I'm not really mad at it.
Is it because she double cheeked up?
No, the twerk was terrible. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
She was horrible. But so the thing. So I saw all this is what we doing in politics and all that kind of shit now, right? These same individuals let Joe Biden say, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They let what's my girl that ran against Hillary? They let Hillary Clinton do the whole black promo run, say she got hot sauce in her bag, do all that bullshit. And this is where we draw the line, because this is a black woman twerking because she wants to be voted senator or reelected senator or some shit like that. Is that what we doing? That's where we drawing the line.
Hey man, I'm here for cheese clapping. That's what I got, right?
I'm just saying, like, we can't, like, listen. I'm not rolling with that, because if we letting these white politicians come to our shit and say we ain't black or try to take our slang for votes, and now we want to criticize the black woman for doing the shit that's been in our culture for hellas.
Yeah,
I'm not rolling.
I hate you being so serious right now. That ass got a little bit of recoil on it. I love it, but a little bit.
The slightest.
A little bit.
The slightest.
It's okay. But
yo, this probably is what Rhode Island looked like, the whole state.
Yeah.
She's literally in like a dirt field. With a lighthouse.
Serious, right? This is me being serious. Okay. We've seen politicians do a lot worse. And I think that the state that we're in right now, they're looking for Democrats to be a little bit more
aggressive,
a little bit more serious about getting votes and making change because of what happened with Roe versus Wade, the mass shootings, the school shootings. We're pretty much maybe on the verge of a civil war, maybe, if you want to be honest, if you look at everything. So maybe this isn't the time, but then again, when is it the time? And it's so many conflicting views on what we deem positive for politicians to play in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, we can make all these stances for the sexually liberated woman, but when she actually shows that she's sexually liberated, we do things like this. So I'm just trying to make sure what we're doing. Like, I'm not shaming this woman for being herself. Like, now I wouldn't want I don't know if I would really, that would sway my vote. Because this is the thing. We have played into personality politics too much. Mm-hmm. And it often gets lost, the overall goal, because we vote for somebody because they twerk. But then again, it's ingenious because nobody's done it. And none of these other politicians probably can do it. I ain't saying she's the best at it either. You know, we seen better.
We seen
better, but you know, cheeks. That's what I got.
I mean, she on the headstand, so
no. Head down.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm not upset. I'm not offended by this. Like I was saying, like, we let these white politicians talk to us any kind of way for the last how many of years. We let Trump say all kind of grabbing vaginas and all that. We've let these politicians get away with so much stuff throughout the years, especially with us being adults now. We actually understand the type of shit that's going on in the government.
Yeah.
And now this is where we draw the line. This is where we're gonna draw the line. I'm not okay with that. I'm not rolling with that. It's Now, what I will say for Tierra Mack, she gotta take some twerking classes or something. She gotta go to Atlanta. She gotta do something. She gotta enroll in something. I follow a young lady on Instagram, Trap Yoga Bay. Follow her if y'all don't follow her. She should get lessons. That's all I'm gonna say.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. She need a little upgrade.
Nah, that's what's up, man. But now, speaking of rolling in classes, I wanted to pitch this idea, this theory that was floating around in my head about HBCUs to my brother Johnny, and I got to paint this picture, and let's see where it goes. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, in the current state of college football, you have two major schools, USC and UCLA, leaving the Pac-10, the Pac-12, which is a major conference, sports conference, and moving to the Big Ten.
Yes, I saw that.
That's pretty wild, right?
Yes.
Two West Coast schools going to play schools that are pretty much Midwest and East Coast schools. That's what the Big Ten consists of. And then you have a lot of schools leaving their older conferences, going to the SEC, playing more Southern schools. So you got a lot of schools in Texas, like you got Texas and Oklahoma famously, that were always a Big 12, kind of like that middle Southwestern type of situation, going over to the Southeast Conference, which has always been traditionally Alabama, Florida, Georgia, those type of places. So you kind of get these vacancies in these bigger conferences, and it's going to start shifting the paradigm, right? And we always seen the shifting paradigm when it came to we're starting to see a lot of these 5-star athletes and these 3-star athletes, like 5, 4, and 3, that traditionally went to these bigger schools, going to lower level schools like HBCUs. Nothing's wrong with that because you play for who you want to play for, right? But schools often follow money. And my theory is that one of these HBCUs will get an invite to like a mid-conference type of place, like a Sun Belt conference or something like that, which will break up the MEAC and the SWAC, which are traditionally black conferences.
Right.
I see that happening because if they keep getting these quality recruits, that's how you change. You change things, in my opinion. I just haven't heard anybody say this on any of the sports platforms, so I want to get my theory out, baby.
Yeah. No,
I think that like if Jackson State, Grambling, maybe A&M, Howard, like, you know, the school, FAMU, like everybody's starting to get people,
3-4-star recruits,
3-4-star recruits, rather be transfer or not. But the thing is, will the competition stay at a high level being down here, where, you know, Jackson State plays the Tennessee State or Alabama A&M and beat the dog shit out of them? Well, we can go play Arkansas State, which is like maybe it's not Arkansas State. It's not Arkansas. That's SEC. Arkansas State, I think, is maybe like Sun Belt Conference or something like that. Or you have an Austin P or something like that in Kentucky. Like those mid-major conferences may start inviting HBCUs for competition.
So are you saying, okay, so I think I'm following you, but let me be sure. So with the HBCUs now getting these 3, 4, maybe some 5-star recruits, right? Are you saying that they're going to get invited to the conferences, like to be a part of the conference? Oh, okay.
Like different conferences, because I think that may break up what the MEAC is, like the East Coast HBCUs that are bigger, right? And then you have the SWAC, which is the southern ones that are bigger.
So you saying, like, let's just say Jackson State gets invited to leave the SWAC and be a part of the Sun Belt Conference. And you're like, God, okay.
I see that happening mainly because I never thought that I would see like a USC. Now they're going to be playing schools like Ohio State, Illinois, Rutgers, Penn State. Like they're in the conference with them now.
That's interesting. Can I see that happening? Yes. Do I think it will happen soon? No.
Well, then again, I'll say this. We didn't see the USC move coming because it wasn't talked about until it literally happened. Now, I'm not saying this is something that happens overnight because, you know, my theory on what HBCU athletics could be is just going to take time. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. But I think that this is something that will happen eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Because, like, the SEC, Pac-12, all that shit, those are like the Power 5 conferences, right? Yeah. So I think it's easier for them to switch conferences, right? So with Jackson State, with the SWAC and MEAC conferences, the individual schools that are in those conferences, I think they're going to have to prove themselves because some of those schools already get one game per season where they'll play an Auburn or play like those types of schools, right?
Exactly.
So, and, you know, as of late, you know, we still losing. But as we get these better recruits and as we prove ourselves year after year, I think then we'll get the invites to those conferences. So I definitely see it happening, but I think it'll just, you know, take some time.
Take some time. And again, like I said, I've lived long enough to see USC jump ship. Like they are the West Coast power, but now they're merging over here to do something completely different.
Because you know what could happen with these HBCU conferences, which I hope it doesn't happen, but what I could see happening is this year, next year, let's just say the next 5 years, they continue to recruit heavy. They get these really good recruits, right? And then, I don't know, maybe a major shift happens. Maybe Deion Sanders decides to retire from college coaching, whatever. Something crazy happens, right? Then the recruiting falls. And now we're back to we get back to square one, and now we got to start the whole process over. Then I think the whole even playing a one game per season against some of those Power 5 schools goes away.
Well, this is the thing. I'm not saying that Jackson State should jump in there with Mississippi or Mississippi State.
Yeah, right, I agree. I definitely agree.
I'm
they
saying
should.
like the like those schools that they wouldn't make it no way. Like, you know, but respectfully, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they are a leg up in competition as to what the SWAC probably could provide. You know what I'm saying? And it does help the players, you know, retool and all that, you know, sharpen their ginsu. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that maybe that's what will happen eventually. Because it's all going to be all about like TV dollars and all that great stuff too. Nobody's turning the Sun Belt Conference on over the SEC brand of football or Big Ten. That doesn't happen. But
That's true.
Just you're opening up the fan base and traveling and things like that. If somebody from, you know, Jackson can go up to these other schools and play them, like, you get familiar, you get a chance to bond, like, you know, all these stuff, like, you kind of, you know.
But then how? So,
But I think that it destroys what the HBCU brand could be.
Agreed.
with our rivalries.
Oh, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And with that, well, first of all, first question: how difficult is it to go from FCS to FBS? Is that a hard thing, or does it really matter? Because I don't know.
Well, that's a great question, because most of the big HBCUs like are Division I AA.
Okay.
So a mid-major school is pretty much another size HBCU. It's just the demographic of the students is different. But if you're talking about sheer numbers, they're probably about the same.
Yeah, got you. And then, damn, I lost my.
But you can't have a school of 7,000 kids playing a school of 17,000 or 30 or 40 and expecting it to be the same. No.
Right.
But
and,
like virtually a 7,000 undergrad body versus a 10, that's not too much of a difference.
Agreed. Okay, I got you.
That's why I keep saying mid-major. I'm not talking Power 5. That's completely different.
And then the next thing, so I kind of hope your theory doesn't happen, only because what I hope the goal is, the recruiting. Yeah, Jackson State, they doing their thing with the recruiting. FAMU.
Yeah.
All these big HBCUs, right? I hope that spreads throughout the rest of the HBCUs, so therefore all of those TV dollars, ad dollars come to the SWAC and come to the MEAC instead of us having to go out and, you know.
Okay, that's true. But all brands are not created equal, right? I can give you Alabama, the cream of the crop of the SEC when you're talking about SEC football, right? I mean, I know there are others, but ain't nobody pulling up to watch Arkansas football.
Is it because of the Arkansas? It's because of the brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, all schools aren't created equal, right? So that's why if certain people leave, like, I mean, respect to Mississippi Valley, but they ain't Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that could change though? Do you think it could change?
Anything's possible, but you know how long it takes to change a brand?
Yeah, I do.
It takes a lifetime.
And it takes
literally a lifetime.
It's gonna take a lot of resources, a lot of money. It's gonna take a whole lot.
And I think that the way that these HBCU administrations think, they're going to start following money.
Yeah.
So you can't sit, like, I'm not saying, well, no, I am saying you. You can't say that when when one of these bigger mid-major conferences call one of us up, we ain't gonna entertain it, because I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I would love for it. I mean, I would love for just HBCUs to get more visibility, and they're getting that now.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, more and more eyes become on this HBCU product. But what sacrifices is the rivalry within the HBCU landscape if one of the schools leads to a bigger conference.
I could see that. Now, outside of that, do you see any other downsides to a HBCU going to any of these other conferences?
No, because talent is talent, right? If you got it, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're starting to recruit a lot of talent that's better than what those mid-majors can oppose. But I'm not saying that our best HBCU school needs to play the best in college football. That's still smoke, my boy. Like, they still gonna get smoked. Like, it's the difference between having 1, 2, 5 stars, and then you got 5 stars at damn near every position.
Yeah.
Even the backups, you recruit 15 5-stars a year. Nah, this one ain't gonna change nothing down here.
Yeah, it's true.
But one makes a difference when you playing Austin P. I don't know. I keep saying Austin.
Yeah, you're
P.
right. That's the one you know.
That's one I know.
That's funny. No, that's an interesting theory. Of course, only time will tell. But when that shit happen, we definitely gonna report.
Oh, we definitely gonna talk about it.
Big facts, because you heard it here first.
Pretty much. I haven't heard nobody say this, so I wanted to make sure I got them bars off.
OS, baby.
Johnny.
We got to do it.
We got to do it, man. It's another MCU entry has hit theaters. We have Thor, Love and Thunder, the 4th entry into the Thor franchise. Johnny, you are fresh off the movie theater seats. You saw this film. What did you think?
First of all, I told you I'm never missing a Marvel movie to open the weekend ever again. So I stuck to that, even fresh off of vacation.
Wow.
So I'm just throw that out there.
Respect.
Right? I've been seeing the rumblings, man. I've been seeing the rumblings. A lot of y'all been calling this shit trash. A lot of y'all, majority of y'all been calling this shit trash. I thought it was entertaining. But I can see why some people will call it trash. I can see.
We'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. What did you think?
I share your sentiment of it being entertaining. And that's pretty much where it goes.
Okay.
It's entertaining. Decent film. Decent. Nothing that is going to shake up the MCU timeline. Nothing like catastrophic in that way. And I mean a good way, right? I just think the movie is okay. If you want to use the word mid, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
But it's just okay. Now, we're going to stick to this film because I have a lot of bars to get off about something else.
Okay.
The MCU at large.
Gotcha.
We'll get to that.
Gotcha.
So, the 4th entry, same Taika Waititi doing his thing with this film. You have Christian Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Look. Gets the blood boy.
Right. Natalie Portman. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I enjoyed this film. It was very entertaining. Like, I really, the bad things I have to say about the film are merely nitpicks. I don't think that the film is like horrible, right? But this is my overall thinking. This would have been better served if it was Thor 2, just off of the love story situation. Because it's like she takes 2 movies off. Was she in Thor: Dark World?
She wasn't in Thor: Dark World.
Oh, okay.
So Thor 1, he went to Earth. That's where they met. Thor 2 took her to Asgard. He met her mother, all that shit.
Okay, never mind. I've seen 2, but I haven't seen it once. So
that's fine. That Dark Elves, it was a dark time.
Yeah, it was.
We
nasty.
don't really talk about that.
We don't do that.
We don't do that here.
But I was like, maybe I don't know. Like it was written well. Like I don't really have too many gripes. I think that this film falls into the traditional superhero trope. Okay, what do you think about Gore the God Butcher? I don't want to start just going all over the place. What do you think about the villain?
I was so excited to see this villain only because he was a god killer. Like that. Well, first of all, he was a god killer. Second of all, it's Christian Bale. You had to bring me into this mind space that Christian Bale plays great villains. I had to sit and think about that. Shit make perfect sense, right? So with Christian Bale playing Gore the God Butcher, it's like, okay, this should be fire. They didn't do enough around him. The opening of the movie, we understood his motivation for why he did what he was doing in the movie, right? Cool. But that was it. He only showed up to actually do some shit. We got no other backstory for him. And I absolutely hated that. because I feel like this. I felt this villain had the potential to be top 5 villain in the MCU, and they completely fumbled that shit. Completely.
I agree.
And that's my biggest gripe with this movie. That's my biggest gripe.
Okay. Yeah, because Christian Bale is like a real life villain, so I think that's why it's so easy for him to be all maniacal and shit like that. But yeah, the villain was just okay. I felt like watching this film, he never had the upper hand like that. I like, oh, I know you lose in the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? The
only time I felt like he had the upper hand is when he like initially got Stormbreaker. That was it. Even when he was using that shit,
that was only
like,
for a split second. But it just felt like that was.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert.
He never gave me the feel that he was going to win. He didn't give me enough of. Like, I'm fucking shit up. Like, if he snuck into Omnipotent City or something like that, and like that would have probably gave me a little bit more. But he didn't do that.
Fucking Jane Foster was fucking him up in New Asgard, like toward the beginning. Like, and not saying that's a bad thing, but like, show him having the upper hand at some point.
I don't think he ever really had the upper hand. Okay. Natalie Portman is Jane Foster. What do you think about the mighty Thor being introduced into this film?
Okay, so I feel like the only reason she was written into this movie is because we had to somehow give Thor closure on Jane Foster. Thor 2 was the last time we actually saw her physically in any of the MCU movies, right? Mm-hmm. But she had been alluded to every time we saw Thor. Yeah. In Ragnarok, in Infinity War, I think in Endgame. Like, anytime we saw Thor, she was alluded to, right? Yeah. So I felt like they had to find a way to bring her back in to close out that story of Thor. Yeah. Because they did the flashback of everything Thor has been through in the MCU. Yeah. Mom dying, father dying, had to kill his sister he just met. Loki died 3 times. Like,
their fake break. I mean, not their fake breakup, but the breakup we never saw on camera.
Had to explain that, right? Because we never got any details about that. Thor needed closure with Jane, so I feel like that's the only reason the Mighty Thor was written into this movie.
I can see that. Well, this is where the writing comes into play, right? Because when you see she had a terminal illness, I was like, oh. She becomes a villain she becomes a hero because of that, right? And then like they played on the sensibilities of that throughout the film. Nothing wrong with it. I just seen it coming a mile away. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's because I watch movies all the time, right? I just saw it. I was like, yeah, we're doing this. Okay, I guess. But I'm rolling. I think she did a good job. I think she did a decent job. Mm-hmm. Like, Thor needed a love interest, hence I guess the name of the film, right? Like, and he did it. It was like it almost broke him in a way the first film did, right? And he needed to become worthy, and I guess his love and his struggle with that helped him become more worthier.
Worthy.
I don't know. Like, am I reaching with that point? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think you're reaching, and. Again, I think Thor has had probably the worst arc out of like all the MCU, right? And we needed to find a way in order to get Thor to be happy again. So what better way than to have his long lost girlfriend come back, for him to actually tell her he loves her, for them to actually fight together, for her to basically die to save him so he can take care of Gore's daughter, which we'll get to in a second, because that's fucking nuts, right? Like, we had to find some way to redeem Thor or make him happier again. We saw him go through fucking depression in the Endgame. Like, we had to find a way to make Thor happy.
Yeah. And this is like, they're trying to make up for what happened with the Dark World, right? And this film, it does capture a lot of what Ragnarok provided. Mm-hmm. A lot of the laughs, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff seemed chaotic at points. So I was just like, "Hey, yo, it's a lot going on," but I'm rocking, right? And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So it's just, hey, what are we doing? Like, are we trying to be comedic? Like, are we trying too hard?
I definitely thought that at times, but I don't know. Like literally all the jokes throughout the movie, I thought them shit was funny.
Yeah.
Like all of them. Like sometimes it felt like it was too many in a row, but for some reason it worked. I don't know. It worked for me. It worked, and I feel like that's what kept me intrigued by the movie.
But the thing about this film, which I do enjoy, it does kind of pull all those emotions and reactions out of you. It can be you can laugh, you can kind of feel like, oh wow, it's a lot going on, or you can kind of feel this heartbreak or this heart pain, like, you know what I'm saying. So it did a good job at that, and the pacing was pretty good. I don't know, I'm just not in love with the film like that.
Same.
But I think it's okay. Like
same, and this is almost how I felt about Multiverse of Madness. But this movie, I feel like this movie is better than Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, it actually is. And then like we get the crossover with the Guardians. Cool. Like I enjoyed them for the 10 minutes they was in the film.
But even that, like, was it really necessary? Like, I understand he flew off with them at the end of Endgame.
Listen, every Marvel film is gonna have crossover from now until the end of time for eternity, right?
I see. It's my man's. I love it. I love it
for eternity.
Which is also crazy, right? It's so okay. I feel like there were very subtle hints or callbacks to other Phase 4 movies and the TV shows. Like the room where he had to open that door for eternity. It was all of those other, like the Living Tribunal, all of those other beings in there. Like we saw glimpses of them in Multiverse of Madness when they went through all 22 of those multiverses. Yeah, I feel like we saw a piece of that in Moon Knight, and even the whole thing with like the gods and how the gods have worshipers and all that. That was a theme in Moon Knight as well, like with avatars and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so
I think they wanted to kind of show that eternity had like I don't know, like status over those other guys, because like you see these four, but eternity's at the end of the hall. That's what I'm thinking.
And then you had to do something special in order to open the door to actually get to eternity, so you can make your wish and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, I'm like, did he have to kill all the guys for this? Like, I didn't see the parallels in like killing gods to get this wish.
See, I think he wanted to kill all the gods, right? Because when he actually met the god that he worshipped, the god was trash, right? Yeah. So end up killing him. So he wanted to kill all the gods. The best way to do that is to get to eternity and just wish all the gods were dead. So that's what he was trying to do to get to eternity.
Oh, okay.
But when he actually got there,
he wished for his daughter back.
He's like, okay, I understand the concept of love now, and maybe love is more powerful and blah blah blah, all that shit.
So, he was not here for that, clearly.
Come on, man.
Okay, so what do you think about Russell Crowe's appearance as Zeus?
I thought he played Zeus well. Like, I didn't expect all the guys to be assholes. I really didn't. That shit was
single
crazy.
One of them are assholes.
Like, he mentioned the orgy. I was like,
he's like, you're not coming to the orgy. I was like, yo,
like, fam, what kind of shit? I thought this shit was great. Oh yeah, I loved it.
I love when you get the dramatic actors coming in and showing their comedic timing. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Russell Crowe be funny in that way. So, and he wasn't being like trying to be funny. It was just him being him. Okay, play within the film. What do you think about that coming back?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it was great because that was from Ragnarok. Yeah,
play within the film.
I thought that was dope. And then what's my girl name? Melissa McCarthy. I wasn't expecting that. That shit was funny.
Yeah. And then they asked King Valkyrie if they could do a play about what's going on right now. They was like, I didn't hear it. No.
Right. All right. Let's. They came up with a name on the spot and everything.
Yeah.
Like that shit was great.
What do you think about the LGBTQ references in this film that probably would have got it banned across these?
And see, we just talked about this like a week or two ago, right?
We ain't heard nothing about this being banned.
Not a thing.
But, okay, what do you think? And then I'll give my 2 cents.
At some point, all right, man. Like, I get it, but for real?
Like, these were literally nothing. It was just shows of slight affection.
That's it.
Like a rock holding hands
under lava,
making a baby, right? I'm like, okay. And then Tessa Thompson's beautiful. Like, she is so fine. The way she hit that touched that white woman on the face, I said, Jesus. Now, did you notice something? Now, this is my perverse mind. Excuse me, right? They used her licking the sword in the trailer. I don't think I seen that in the film.
No, you know they be faking us out sometimes.
Damn, this what you fake me out
You
on?
know they be faking us out, man. You know.
When Tessa licked that sword, I said, "Ooh, Lord."
Look, he was ready.
I was ready for that, and they took that away from me.
That's fine. You got the trailer.
I felt like
you
it would
go
have been
play it back.
I felt like it would have been. I felt like that scene would have been longer in the film.
I don't know. I got nothing for it.
Okay. Well, we have clearly been all over the place with this film, so I think we understand where how we feel about the film overall, what we think about, each major character. What do you think about the post credit scenes?
Let's do the last one first.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Foster, she died in battle, so she was able to go to Valhalla. We get a glimpse of Idris Elba as Heimdall. Fire. Super fire.
I am so upset that we didn't mention his kid being like in this film. I thought that was so dope. The little boy.
Yes.
The little boy.
Super fire, right? And even like the final battle scene with all the kids where he like
that was dope. That was dope.
In the moment, in the beginning, I was like, oh no, I know all these kids ain't about to fight this shit. Like, that's trash. But when they got their powers and they was all doing all that shit, the little girl had the teddy bear. No, that was I was like, all right, I like this.
I'm not gonna hate on
this.
Yeah,
I like this. So the fact that his child was able to use the same like vision thing, so Thor could like actually talk to the kids. That was dope. That was cool. The fact that Jane Foster was able to go to Valhalla, because that was a running theme throughout the movie. Like a lot of people mentioned Valhalla, right? Yeah. So the fact that we actually got to see it, we got a glimpse of Heimdall, which I thought we would never see again. Like it was touching. It was beautiful, right? Yeah. Now for the mid credit scene, what did you think about? First of all, Zeus not dying. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that. I didn't think he was dead.
I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was.
I didn't think he was dead. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like for you to kill Zeus and you don't have no payback for that. Like, ain't nobody come pull up on you immediately. Like, like the rest of the guys got to see you immediately. Because everybody knew you was going there. Like,
right.
Everybody knew where you was going. So I felt like
that's true. That is true. Like, yeah, they ain't
you just don't kill. You just don't kill the gods of all gods and don't have no retribution,
no retaliation,
nothing. All right.
Nah, that's crazy. All right, I'm okay.
I was like, nah, he ain't dead.
That's funny.
But just the reveal of Hercules now in the MCU, I was like, I don't really know what this means, because I didn't know that those actual Greek gods were like existed in the Marvel universe. Yeah. I know that a lot of our characters that we love are based on them, like in ways. But I didn't know that Zeus, Hercules.
Yeah, they exist in the comic universe.
It did nothing for me though. Like, I mean, it was like cool.
What I hope it doesn't mean is that there's going to be a Thor 5.
Oh, no.
Get this shit out of here.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about MCU and beyond now, because we're here now. You don't give Thor this little girl and not give us another Thor, right? You don't have Hercules introduced as a possible villain for Thor and not have another Thor film. What, we gonna have Gods versus Avengers? Because the Avengers planning on fighting some other stuff. So, like, this is where the MCU is starting to split off. It seems like it's like this film has nothing to do with what Marvel like did with Doctor Strange. Nothing. Yeah. There's no tie-in. Yeah. There's no continuation. They're doing their own thing. Maybe when we get Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe there'll be some tie-in. Yeah. But for what we just saw and what Marvel's been doing with multiverses and things like that, this got nothing to do with.
Absolutely
so
nothing.
That's where I'm like, I'm not saying that. Well, maybe I am. I feel like most films should have tie-in to the overall
theme of what's going on.
But this is literally a standalone film in that way,
with only subtle references to other things that have happened within Phase 4. Super subtle, right? I don't really know what the Hercules thing means either. I just hope that it doesn't mean another Thor movie. Like, we really got to get that out of here. So,
Listen, like he is the only one that has had a 4-film run. Like and his character, like his contract ain't up. So you gonna get,
it definitely said Thor will return.
You finna get more Thor, my boy, and that means it's gonna be a. You know when you hit a pal with this, like just prepare.
God, I hope not.
I'm actually here with you. Like I'm not sure. Like how can you squeeze another Thor film? But then again, you gave him a child.
They gonna turn
that
shit,
fights with him.
They gonna turn that shit into Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it's already there.
Oh my God,
it's already there, man.
Okay, so last question. Another movie entry into Phase 4.
That's all. I know where you're going. I want you to finish.
What do you think? What do you think about the current state and where we're at?
This is slightly better than Doctor Strange, but still, my feelings about Phase 4 are still the same.
Get Phase 4 though. Fuck out of here.
This ain't changed nothing.
Golly.
So we have to look forward to a Chadwick Boseman less Black Panther.
Because that's the next MCU movie.
This is not like Marvel was trekking real good when we got into Black Panther. We was doing good when we pulled up to When we pulled up to Wakanda, it was forever, baby. We was up. We was up. But now, I don't know if we gonna be dashiki up for this one.
But I said that back then. Even rest in peace to Chadwick. Even if Chadwick was still with us, I still don't think.
Chadwick couldn't save. Chadwick can't save what's going on in the MCU right now. Rest in peace to the God.
Facts.
But I just don't think.
I don't
like
see
this
it happening.
This is something else.
I don't see it happening. From what I've seen, we're getting Namor, the Submariner. We're also getting Ironheart, Riri Williams, who is the youngest, smartest person in the MCU apparently.
So her and Shuri gonna be catfighting pretty much, right?
I hope not. I don't want to see the black women fight.
Not. You know, I'm smarter than you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
that's what I mean. Catfight, not actual.
Okay,
fighting.
got you. I'm cool. I'm with that. But again,
she a fancy MIT degree.
Right. That's funny. At 9, looking at us.
She gonna be mad.
No, but for real, we got to get Phase 4 out of here. And then now I'm wondering what the ending of Phase 4 is. Like,
is it
because
Fantastic
it's not going to be a Avengers movie.
It's a Fantastic Four film.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Because every time they've done the Phase 4 trailer and thing like that, they end with the 4, the Fantastic Four.
Gotcha.
4. So I think that's what next year. Hey man, it's looking real dark.
It's real bleak, man.
For Black Panther, respectfully.
Man, that's November. We got 5 months for that? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm so sad because this shit has not been good.
We brought it to you here first, OS Game. We ain't really the biggest fans of Phase 4 MCU. It's just not it. Not it?
Nah, man.
OS Game, we have clearly reached the end of our docket. We appreciate you for rocking with us all the way to the end. Johnny, what do you have for the people?
For our YouTubers, again, we want to say thank you and welcome to all the new subscribers. We appreciate y'all. Check out all the previous content. We got new content coming every week.
Yes, sir.
Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the comment section. Let us know what y'all think about any of the topics we discussed today. We'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.
If you're on audio, you know what time it is, baby.
It's Song of the Week.
WKOS, we here. Ralph, you take it first.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.